What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today I wanted to talk about the upcoming Dark Knight changes, and they're currently on the Global Lab. So I'll leave a link in the description to what we're going to read. So this is on the Black Desert Foundry site, and they basically translated the upcoming changes. So we're going to look at this together. I kind of skimmed it before, and as a Dark Knight main, I just wanted to go over some of the changes and give you my opinions on it. And some of these words or terminology like spirit and stamina, that's the equivalent of using MP and obviously stamina, so just keep that in mind. So hopefully this will be pretty interesting. Also another change, if Perlibus decides they want to watch my video, can you make that Marnie wave thing not, like have a setting where every time you log in it doesn't automatically open? That would be great, thank you. So anyway, it's also cool. Like, I like the Marnie wave thing. I just wish it wouldn't open every time I launched the game. So anyway, yeah, so we got the notes up, and we're just gonna look at the Dark Knight ones. And so a lot of this is, I think it's only Succession that got buffed. And I think overall, a lot of these are good changes. And yeah, let's look at all of these. So first of all, we got the Kama Sylvia Slash, and when it's used with Dusk, so basically you hold your shift left click, and then when you dash, you still hold it in time. And then basically you could hold your forward guard and then move, so you could try to like back attack or something. And this one was like, if it was not completed, it has been corrected, the normal damage is applied. So basically, that's good. I didn't even know that was broken because it's not uncommon. Like, I use this combo a lot, but I didn't really notice it was broken because every other class just has guards up, basically. So the one-hit reduction of Prime /3 skills in PvP had changed the same damage applied in PvP as 1 and 2 skills. Okay, so basically damage is the same. Cool, it works now. It's good. Prime Lunacy of Adir. The bound effect has been changed to apply only to monsters upon successful hitting. I did notice that a little bit. Like, I don't really understand this picture as much, but I guess like if you're not guarded or the person is not forwarded, that makes sense a little. So I guess it's like if you're targeting it is what it's trying to say, because if in theory if you're not guarded and you hit 2 enemies, the bound effect should apply to both. I'm not sure why one got knocked down and one didn't, but I guess that's an interesting change. I don't know too much, but I guess I'm not really sure if this is a good or bad thing, but I'm pretty sure if you're not guarded, that's considered a successful hit. Next, Prime Airstrike. I think this is probably going to be one of my favorite ones. Super armor effect has been added during attacks. And dude, I've been wanting that so long. You guys have seen in my other videos, whether it's like when I'm doing PvE or PvP, when you super armor, that is like asking to get grabbed. And I know it's supposed to have invincibility while moving, but that split second of invincibility pretty much means nothing. And the fact that you have super armor during the full attack, that's huge. And I'm really glad they changed it because I've been asking for that for a long time. On the other thing is the resource required to use the skill has been changed from Spirit, which is basically your MP, to Stamina. Now, as a veteran player that has like, I usually buff and stuff when I'm having that, and I don't really have stamina issues. So I'm kind of interested in seeing how this plays out, because Dark Knights can move from point A to B pretty quickly, actually. So the fact that it now costs stamina instead of your MP is an interesting change. I think it was definitely needed, and I I think this is going to be a change that we're going to have to get used to. So I never really had problems with either MP or stamina. But I know early on, Awakening players, well, I know this is Prime, so that means it's Succession, but I guess early on Dark Knight players, you might have some resource issues. So this might help you out as well. And if you're like a newer player, you don't have a lot of MP or you don't have an infinite potion. So this might be a good change, but I'm not too sure how I feel about it yet. But it was definitely a needed one because Dark Knights at endgame definitely do not have stamina issues unless you're like literally spamming your dash, and you shouldn't be doing that. So next we have Unveiled Dagger. Currently Endurance is stamina. I hate how they keep using different ones. Like they use stamina here, but they use endurance here. I'm pretty sure this is currently stamina. Yeah, I think so. When I Unveil Dagger is your F button. Oh, hold on. Let me... Sorry, quick detour in game. I'm making these because I just want the witch's delicacies, to be honest. Let me get another set of these to go. All right, cool. Back to the notes. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure endurance meant stamina and has now changed to use MP, which is, I think, really good. It's definitely better. So, Unveiled Dagger is one of those things you use to combo into other things like your Enforcement and the other ones. So, if we take a look at this one, you use your Unveiled Dagger. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, actually. But let me see if I can move this. Oh, no, I can't. Anyway, Unveiled Dagger into Enforcement is usually a combo I see rarely often. So that's good. I think I like having it use more MP instead of stamina, especially because other skills are going to be changed. Twilight Dash changed from 300 to 200 stamina. Basically, it's lower cost. No like effective damage changes or anything. So that's good. It's cheaper to use. Excellent. It's one of your mobility abilities. Good. Ravage Rake and the Flow. Front Guard or Frontal Guard has been added while using the skill, which I think is a very strong ability. In Succession, this is an ability, your Ravage Rake is what you use pretty regularly. So like you would use your Lunacy or Wheel of Fortune and then combo it, like flow right into Ravage Rake, and then you just hold the button down. So especially, well, I guess this works in both PvP and PvE that I see used often. So now that it has a Frontal Guard, it makes you harder to get CC'd, which I think is a very strong change. And this is also an ability, if you are playing Succession as a new player, I don't think you're going to be priority, like, focused on it. But this is a very strong change, but it's not like a new, like, if you just made your character yesterday, you're probably not worried about this skill. But it is a strong one. It's just not one of the skills you get really early on in the game. You're more focused on, like, Lunacy, Wheel of Fortune, Nocturne, etc. But this is a very strong change for later players. The phenomenon in which the Flow Ravage Rake skill cannot be activated while using the skill has been fixed. I didn't really know that was an issue, to be honest. Prime Wheel of Fortune, Prime Lunacy Video. These are what I would consider heavy-hitting skills. So in my guide videos before on Dark Knight, I categorized a lot of skills into, like, when we looked at all of these in the future, or previously, I know you can't really see it as well, but I categorized skills to make it easier for people to learn. Like, for example, if we look at these, I know you can't see it as well, but like, I categorized them into heavy attacks, light attacks, and medium. Heavy meaning they do the most damage but are slow and you don't spam them, whereas light attacks are the ones that do less damage but are also sometimes fillers when the heavy is on cooldown. So just to give you an idea of that. And so Wheel of Fortune and Lunacy of Vidir are definitely heavy hitting skills, and they do a lot of damage. So after using the skill, the speed of linking other skills has been increased. That is a huge change, that you can flow and combo more skills that are like more damage in, which is really good. So how fast the speed of linking other skills is, we have no idea yet, but the fact that I could probably combo 2 skills before they get up in a CC, definitely very good. So right now, like when you combo someone, you know how we have the 2 CC limit, or like the points and all that stuff. It's really hard to explain to new players how the CC caps work. Like you have 2 CCs over X amount of time. Each, like, for example, a stun is not the same as a stiffen, a knockdown, and a float are not the exact same times. It's one of those things that's kinda, you're gonna have to read up on that on your own time, but like knockdowns are more valuable in terms of a CC than like a stiffen, for example. So anyway, the fact that you can CC someone and then do maybe 1.5 big hitters instead of 1 is very good. So that's a huge change. Obsidian Ashes, the bound effect of the 4 skills successful hit has been applied only to monsters. The same as for skills 1 to 3. Well, that's good, because Obsidian Ashes to me is a PvE ability. So the fact that there's no PvP change is not really a big deal to me. Super armor has been added while using the skills. I guess that's good. I mean, it has a protection, but most of the time, if you're using Obsidian Ashes, let me see. The skill is this one. How do I... This skill right here. So I don't use this as much as I probably should, but I use it mostly to pull enemies. Let's say, for example, what's a circle rotation on anything? I don't know, Star's End. Let's use that for example. So let's say there are enemies and you're trying to pull everything to the crystal, right? And I use Obsidian Ashes to pull them from wherever they're standing to the crystal. So I guess that's good. Do I think it needed super armor? Not really, but the fact that it's getting it now, that's cool, I guess. Successful hits, the bound effect has been only applied to monsters. The fact that they're bound is kind of interesting, because you want them to aggro, right? And then you want them to move instantly. You don't want them to get stuck where they're standing for too long. If you're assuming you're using it in the PvE situation, which is literally what the change is for. So this one is a little something I'm gonna have to test when it comes to the live server, because as I said, you want them to aggro instantly, but you don't want them to like get bound and stuck for 3 seconds. Well, it's not 3 seconds, like actually realistically it's not that bad probably, but I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't really think needed a change, but I guess if 1 to 3 already have it on live, but 4 didn't, I guess it's just normalizing it. which is an interesting one. If you don't want to use it, if it turns out to be bad, the alternative is to use your Rabam ability, which would be Shadow Strike in your first one, your 56 Lunacy of Vidir Shadow Bullet. You use that as a Shadow Strike, and that's also how you pull enemies as well, which basically is the same thing, but Obsidian Ashes does a little bit more damage. So one of these, this one, I'm kind of interested in seeing how it's going to change, but realistically, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I just didn't think it really needed a change at all. Prime Nocturne, Prime comma slash. The existing right click. Oh, so basically in succession, this isn't new. So there are a few skills you can combo Nocturne in. Lunacy of Vidir, basically you use that and then hit a directional key and it'll use Nocturne as a combo, or flow, I guess. And then it would do 2-in-1, which is very strong. But after the change, Lunacy of Vidir strike, if you right click immediately, Nocturne is changed. That, I'm pretty sure that's what this is already. Charging hit is activated when an additional right click is inputted. Hold up. After Lunacy of Vidir or the flow, if you right click additionally, Prime Nocturne is activated. Oh, so as it says, it's only an activation thing, so I think it's just one extra click, I believe. That's one extra button you have to press. Well, like, you just have to, like, press it twice now, I think. And assuming I'm reading this correctly, before it, you would be like, okay, so Lunacy of Vidir, up, or a W, up arrow, whatever. And then that would work. Now you have to up and then right click to activate it. I can see this being good or bad, because one, bad meaning you have to press one extra button in your combo, but good is you don't use Nocturne if you don't want to, and you, like, let's say you accidentally hit a directional, you're not going to use it, which using Nocturne is definitely not like a beginner friendly skill. It's one of those things where if you press like up or down or W or S, it does something completely different than if you were to hit A or D. So I'm interested in playing with this change afterwards. Now, I'm not sure. I don't really have an opinion on it yet, but I just have to say that Nocturne is definitely not a beginner-friendly ability, because you have to learn what it does and how each direction works. So, I don't know. It could be bad, it could be good. I'm not sure. Same with Obsidian Ashes. These are changes I might have to get used to. The good things that we have are Wheel of Fortune, Lunacy of Vidir being faster to flow. A forward guard on Ravage Rake and the flow is good. Reduced cost on Twilight Dash, that's good. Unveiled Dagger now uses mana or MP instead of stamina, that's good. Airstrike having super armor, probably the biggest change in my opinion. So yeah, that's good. But it now uses stamina instead of MP, so I think the change is good overall. Super armor on it makes it worth it. I don't care if it uses stamina. It's worth it for the armor protection itself. Comma slash, what did we say about that before? Oh, the damage was just not applied on multiple. Lunacy of Vidir. Man, this screenshot or like this like GIF literally doesn't make sense to me. The bound effect changes to apply only to monsters upon successful hitting. This looks like it's hitting two targets, but one gets knocked down, one just gets like bound, and one It doesn't make sense to me, basically. But anyway, I think this is, if they say monsters, that means it's PvE only, so realistically, not really a big deal. But I think they could have used a better GIF to explain this. But overall, in my opinion, I think those are good changes. There are a few things I'm probably going to have to test out a little bit later, being Obsidian and Nocturne. But overall, I think it's a good change. Do I think it makes Dark Knights like any higher up on the PvP scale? No. But I think you will survive longer than you probably would before. I think that's about it. In terms, like, overall, this feels to me like survivability is more than anything. So I think overall is a good thing, especially because Dark Knights are glass cannons. So yeah, with that said, I will leave these patch notes in the description if you guys want to read it. All the classes got changed in a way. So if you aren't a Dark Knight, your class probably got hit too, in a good or bad way. Strikers get to see or live another week. And yeah, with that said, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a quick thumbs up, like on the video, and we will be back tomorrow for a little bit more. So have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys later.